What is going on, people? Welcome to another episode of Pearl Daily here on the Audacity Network. I thought I would start a little early before we bring up the panelists later. I first wanted to say thank you guys so much for supporting me these last couple years. As you guys know, I just fought off demonetization after 2 years, and being back and able to do what I love has just been amazing. So thank you guys so much for supporting me this entire time. Did you guys have a good Thanksgiving? Can you put a 1 in the chat if you had a good Thanksgiving? Put a 2 in the chat if it was trash. You guys already know sometimes family, there's the relatives that are fighting. Sometimes people are excited to see family. Sometimes they're not. It just is what it is. We got ones in the chat. Ones, any twos. If your Thanksgiving sucked, put why. Put why it sucked. I was thinking about calling this show Petty because I really did start this show to be petty. I'm not saying it was the right thing to do. I'm not saying it was the mature thing to do, but I'm standing on it. You crash out on me on a panel, that I'm just going to do a panel at the exact same time as your panel and we'll see who wins. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. I'm not saying it's what I should have done. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do. You were alone. Oh, no. No. You know what? Honestly, if you're alone, go out and make some pals. Go on and make some pals. Get out there. You got to learn to bake or something. That's your gateway to friendship. If you're ever wondering, say, I got no friends. You got to learn how to bake because America's fat. Okay. America is diabetic damn near. So you just got to bring some cookies and be like, hey, I got some cookies wherever you go. And then you're going to be the person with cookies. Who isn't happy to see the person with cookies? I bring cookies to my gym sometimes, my literal gym where people go to lose weight and people are still happy to see, and they're jacked there. I'm the fat one in that environment. You know what I mean? I'm the obese one there. Okay, so, it's been a little bit since I was live, so I guess I maybe will go over some thoughts I've had for the week. Some of these are related to the topic, some aren't. Now, the first thing that I was thinking about is I recently joined Are We Dating the Same Guy groups. Those like in every city. I joined like 5 of them for research purposes, right? So I'm kind of like documenting some of the problems women are having in different cities. It's all the same problem, right? The problem women always have dating the same men. I mean, we always have the same problem, right? But what I was thinking about is, I would say the lack of good faith in dating now. And I do think women, I know for a fact women started this, like women were kind of assholes to men, right? When I see the difference between women that win and women that don't win, is the women that win go in with good faith regardless of what happens to them, right? If they get cheated on, they're not going to go in thinking the next guy's a cheater. This is impossible for women, right? We always make the next guy pay. And it's very apparent in these groups because like the women fight each other and police each other. So they'll post a guy and this will be a guy some of these women haven't even gone on a date with yet. Can you imagine? Like you're just like, oh, I got a match. I have a date this week. You're excited as a guy. And then now you're in a group with like 50,000 women and she goes, any tea? And you're asking the general public to comment anonymously on if there's tea on you. It reminds me of that app Yik Yak. Put a 1 in the chat if you in college had Yik Yak. So my first year of college, that was a thing. And people could anonymously like talk about you. And I think it like disappeared after a day or something. And I remember this is my first experience with the like negative reviews. Now I get them all the time. It's okay. It's normal. Now I get, but this is my first negative review as a young woman. I was 17 when I went to college. So I was 17 and someone put that I was a bitch and I'm like, a bitch? Me? No. I was devastated. I couldn't believe it. Now I could believe it, right? But back then I was a young woman. No one had ever told me anything negative in my life. The men are like, we've been hearing this negativity since we were born. Yeah, you got kicked out of the Are We Dating the Same Man because I called them out for being bullies. I know women are the worst bullies. Do you know what's so crazy? Women, especially on Twitter, they'll have Jesus crosses in their bio. I swear on my life, Jesus crosses. And the thing is, women, we just have this tendency to think we are something if we say it. So it's like, instead of learning to be a good person, we'll just say I'm a Christian. Why do the hard part of like being nice when you could just say I'm a Christian and wear a cross on your boobs? That's always the caveat. They have titties out with the cross. And they're diabolical. It's crazy. I'm like, oh wow, you guys keep going. You keep going. But anyways, going back to the good faith thing. Negative reviews. I know. Can you believe it? I get negative reviews sometimes. Oh. So back to the Are We Dating the Same Guy thing. So these women, they come together. And what I've noticed is hot women tend to be a lot more good faith because men treat them better. It's a lot easier to be good faith when you're a hot woman. The hot women are like, you guys don't get called back. And the fat women are like, yeah. And the hot women, I think it's the mids that are the most bitter. I think it's the upper mids because they're so close to being with the hot guys, but so far. You're right there. But you're not quite. You're not quite there yet. I do think fat women have a little bit more humility, right? Because fat women, they kind of a lot of times know their place. Like they can't not know they're fat. Like when I was fat, I knew I was fat. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like I didn't know. So they come with a little humility. Like a lot of times the fat women, they'll come in with a smile. But the upper mids, because they're banging the 9s and the 10s, but they just can't quite get that commitment. They can't quite. They're like, I'm so close, but so far. Oh, I'm in the door with Tyrone, but he ghosted. Oh, I'm with the door with Brad. He took me on this nice dinner, and then I never heard from him again. And it's the yeah, and they're gonna get the range of offers. Like a mid, you would be shocked at the dating apps of a mid. Now, I've seen the dating apps of fat women. You would also be shocked if I'm being for real here. You would also be shocked with the dating apps of fat women. You really would. I mean, these are in shape men matching, but somebody's got to do it. Do you know what I mean? There's somebody's going to do it. Stream idea. You and Carlin, Boris Senko, and Rachel Wilson, a show called BLTC Coven, because that's the accusation against you three. Idea you could restore the image of the witch, which didn't used to be an insult. What's the accusation? I'm a bitch. Yeah, I do. I understand. I understand. I don't really think I'm a bitch, but I think that's for the general public to decide. I don't really get to decide what other people's perception of me is. It just kind of is what it is. You take it or leave it. Okay, but back to the Are We Dating the Same Guy group chats. I was thinking about this and I'm like, it's kind of crazy how big of bullies women are in these chats. Like I have a friend and he dumped his girlfriend like 5 years ago. 5 years ago. And he got put in this chat as like an abusive monster. And he's so nice. and he dated this girl for like 2 years, 5 years ago. Not 1 year, not 2, but she's still not over it. It just is what it is. Okay. All right, let's get into the topic today. I'm monologuing, I'm spitballing. Yeah, you know how it is. Okay, so today we're talking about political beliefs. So when I was younger, I used to kind of think that political beliefs, I grew up I grew up my mom took me to Sarah Palin abortion rallies. I argued about abortion on the playground. Okay, this was me as a child. Like I was literally 12 on the playground debating with people about abortion. I can't say I was the most likable child. And so I always thought this was really, really important in dating and friendships. And I think at one point in my life, I maybe thought like it makes you a more moral person. It doesn't, but when you're young, you just think that. But then I get older, and I started developing friendships with the most unlikely of people. To be fair, I've never dated a liberal, so this is kind of this is more in theory than practice for me. That's why I brought on a panel today to talk about it. But one of my really good friends is, now mind you, I don't think women should, I don't know if I could say it on YouTube anymore, but the voting republic, I think, should be smaller. I'll just say that's my extreme beliefs. And I somehow befriended a vegan activist that used to do nude activism. Who would have thought? We met through music, right? We're like the best of pals now. I never would have thought in a million years that this would matter. Or to be fair, this is not dating. This is just friendship. But hey, and it made me realize that maybe politics and all that stuff doesn't matter as much as I thought. I also had the privilege of interviewing 1,000 women. And when you interview 1,000 women, you really do, you really start to see patterns, right? And you can kind of identify people more. And I just did not notice a difference between liberal women and conservative women in terms of how much of a bitch they were. I really didn't, I just didn't. It didn't really seem to make a huge difference to me. And so this kind of changed my view a little bit, where I thought maybe like politics isn't as important in friendship and in dating as I originally thought. But me and Doug MPA, a lot of times these panels start because of conversations. And this kind of started because me and Doug MPA were talking, and I was like, I don't want to, I'm going to bring him up in a second. He had a negative dating experience with a more liberal woman. And I was just like, well, does it matter? Don't we just like change our mind if we like you? Maybe not. But I'm going to bring up Doug MPA to give his side. Now, I can be swayed because, again, I don't date women. I don't. I know there's rumors on the internet, but I really don't. I don't. I'm a little bit of a tomboy. But so I can be swayed. And to be fair, I've dated guys that aren't maybe political, but I've never dated a guy with opposite beliefs as me. So this is a little bit not speaking from experience, but I am going to bring people up to give their Charles Kruthammer. I also think that liberal women are a little bit hotter. I don't know. That's just what I've noticed. And I thought about it. I'm like, maybe conservative women, it's like almost a cope. And this is a theory. This is not a fact. This is a theory for being ugly. So it's like we got to make up for it. So we're like, I guess we'll believe the conservative. Maybe it's like a subconscious thing. I don't know. I'm a little weird. My mom took me to Sarah Palin rallies. I met Sarah Palin when I was 12. I'm not even kidding. I was born on election day. My birthday is November 4th, and presidents are elected. I think I was just born to be a political person. Charles Kruthammer, conservatives think liberals are dumb. Liberals think conservatives are evil. Yeah, I could be a cope, but I'm one of the conservative women. So, this would be like admitting to myself. All right. Doug MPA, what do you think? So we had this conversation. Do you want to tell them about your experience and why you think no to the liberals, to the liberal ladies? Doug MPA.
Sorry, I was still on mute. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Hey.
Panelist after Doug MPA gives his little intro and his story that kind of sparked this show. So go ahead.
Okay, so I'm not gonna. I normally try to not make things about race, but you guys, on my channel, I always say that Black women, American Black women, are the worst women on the planet. no men have worse women to choose from than American black men. I'd say 80% of them, right? So in our community, you, our men are supposed to serve the women. So you're not supposed to be an independent or a conservative in black culture, right? So, so the existence of a black conservative or a black Trump supporter is antithetical to most black women. No, I'm sorry, wrong word. It can't even be conceived by a black woman most of the time. So it's really bad in our community. And I, I the reason why I brought this up is I was actually out on a date with a woman. Everything was fine, and then we started talking about Ayesha Curry and Michelle Obama. You guys know Ayesha Curry keeps going on these podcasts, and excuse my language, but keeps shitting all over Steph Curry because she has nothing to offer except shitting all over her husband and making him look stupid, right? And it's the same thing with Michelle Obama. You may not like Barack Obama, but men respect work ethic. He became president of the United States, right? But his wife just rinses him out. Michelle Obama, Big Mike, says all these horrible things about him on podcasts. She has nothing to offer except saying bad things about him. And so, I asked this girl about that at the end of the date, and she's trying to explain to me why it's okay that a wife should be able to say things publicly about her husband. I'm like, no, it's not okay. No, right? And that was enough where I never saw her again. I'm like, no, because that's indicative of her mindset. She will find it okay to rinse you if you court this woman, marry this woman, protect and provide. She will feel it's okay to rinse you out. No.
What about tell them about and you can not tell these stories if you don't want, but the BLM girl.
The BLM girl.
Wasn't there like a BLM, like a white girl that was like a BLM girl?
Oh yeah, yeah. So I went out with this white girl, and I went on her Instagram, and it's her around a whole bunch of black people. I'm like, uh-oh. She was the Slim Shady in a group of black people. And so she was in the law field, and she does all this work to better the black community and this, that, whatever. And so we're talking, and she's just, Black Lives Matter, all these different things. And then she's talking about how she's been familyed by so many black people and this, not whatever. And so, I'm an independent, but I voted for our current president, and that short-circuited her mind because I didn't fit her idea of blackness. So, and she's trying to explain to me why my version of blackness is wrong. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. No. And and guys, I always say liberal women, liberal white women in particular, are the most dangerous group on the planet because they can play every piece on the chessboard. They can be strong and independent. They can be damsels in distress. They can be stay-at-home mothers. They will talk about the patriarchy and the evil white people, but then they will marry a white guy, have his children, and then call him a misogynist, and all these different names all at the same time. It's insane.
If you were gonna date a liberal woman, what race liberal would you go? Liberal white, liberal Asian, liberal black, or liberal Latina? What you picking?
Anyone but black. Sorry.
All right.
I can make all the rest of it work, but I can't do B-dubs, man.
All right. Okay. So we're gonna go over the rules. The panelists in the back can hear me, or you should. If you can't, then you might have audio issues. So we got to keep it respectful. This isn't too contentious of a topic, so today should be fine. What do you think the talking limit per person should be, roughly?
We're gonna try to keep it around 2.5 minutes, and if there's a good back and forth, we'll let it go. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people plus Pearl on the panel. I'm going to be moderating, and don't take it personal if I have to mute you. Once again, I put in the chat. We've had a couple of people that try to do main character syndrome on here. You got to leave it at the door. Everyone's equal here. And don't bring up your personal life unless you want what you brought up about your personal life scrutinized. And don't do not all women, not all, we're all adults here.
Yeah.
We make generalizations on this channel.
Yeah. So I mean, this is a new show, so we might, think of rules down the road. Audience, feel free to interact, but I think today will be all right. So, okay, let me start with, I want to do a special warm welcome. I wasn't sure if he was coming. Aaron Clary, welcome to the show.
Hey.
Hang on. I got to get my camera. I didn't know we were going to do three-way here.
Aaron, well, I'm going to bring up the whole panel in a second, but I do need to give him a special shout out because Aaron broke down the economics of dating women.
I did.
And it's crazy. So he broke it down from a numbers point of view. And Jesse's like a dating coach. So he went out and dated a bajillion women.
What's going on? Good to be on. Good to meet everyone.
Welcome to the show, Jesse.
Thank you.
I don't think we've met before as a Dating with Al.
You got it. Good to meet you. Glad to be here. Thank you.
We got Spirit Chili. You are muted. You got to unmute, but welcome to the show. Dirty Rotten People, welcome to the show.
How's it going, everybody? Good to be here.
And we got AJ's Rants and Reactions. Welcome to the show.
What's going on, everybody?
All right. So I'm going to toss it over to Doug MPA. He is going to moderate the show today and give us some openers. But welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming.
Okay, so we normally do a trending topic first, and then we're going to do like a micro about the topic, and then the panel, and then a macro. So the trending topic is, I don't know if you know who this is, but I'm going to bring up the screen. Guys, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. And Athena is in the chat. I hope everything is going well with you, my friend. Hope to have you on another panel soon. Thank you for getting all the panelists together. She has brought so much value in a short amount of time. So thank you, Athena, and say hi to Athena in the chat, everyone. And let me share my screen real fast. Share. 1 second.
What's the first one? It's the Indian chick, right?
No.
Oh no.
We're gonna do. Remember Nicholas Pepe? So
yeah, Tiana.
So Nicholas Pepe, he is a popular football player. He's worth $30 million. And he
was worth.
Oh, I know, right?
It's 15 now.
So this is him and his ex-wife right here. You can see Nicholas Pepe left his wife and 2 kids for a porn star, Tiana Trump, and so this is him and her right there, and this was him and his ex-wife. And I saw this tweet, and this is what this person, Salt of the Earth, says, see why we say as a man, you need to get it out of your system when you're still a bachelor. Get with all the baddies you can get your hands on, fulfill your wildest fantasies. Only when you're done should you get married, or else you'll get married and then ruin your own marriage later. So I want to go around the pen once again. This was his first life with 2 kids or whatever. He's 30 years old with $35 million. He's leaving his wife behind to get with a porn star, Tiana Trump. Please tell me why.
He's dating a chick with like a sleeve, she's kind of overweight. So he's probably just like, he's probably thinking that either one probably has a past. So at this point, he might as well get the hotter one.
Anyone else want to jump in? Why would Nicholas Pepe divorce his wife to get with Tiana Trump, a porn star?
Probably retarded, but it's not. I mean, when you're inexperienced as a guy and something like this comes across your lap, you don't think about it. You just jump on it. So inexperienced, and also don't underestimate these Jezebels and the power they have over these men. So
I'd like to jump in if I could.
Go ahead.
You know, this is what I tell a lot of the women I coach all the time. Speaking to a woman in the audience, you will never be your man's only sexual outlet, okay? Whether that's him looking at porn, a Playboy magazine, IG models, OF girls, the reality of the fact is you will never be your man's only sexual outlet, okay? I don't know why he decided to divorce his baby mama or go about it that way, but maybe if you had the conversation like, hey, I'm a man, I can either look at porn or I can get a side chick. Maybe it's because he avoided that kind of tough conversation.
I think it's maybe because he's his family's African, right? So he was born in Paris. You know, he's probably like the son of immigrants, and they're really, really like Catholic or really religious, right? And then maybe this chick just laid it on him and opened up his whole universe to debauchery that he never had experienced. You know, maybe he's doing lines off her labia. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So that has to be it. You know, like it's probably like a cultural thing. He thinks it's a status thing. I don't know. But
if any of you have fallen for a really promiscuous woman, tell me, what did she do that made you fall for her?
Tits.
Gok 5,000.
She fucked really, really well.
Okay, I want to hear what Spirit Chili has to say. Why do you think a man left a relatively unknown woman who wasn't, I'm pretty sure back in the day she was, attractive before the 2 kids or whatever, but to leave for a corn star? What do you think, Spirit
They're
Chili?
married too, so it's not like his girlfriend, it's his wife. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's obvious reasons. Lust is the obvious one. I mean, OnlyFans is on the rise, definitely lately, more so. A lot of women like to take their independence through OnlyFans. I have, won't talk about it very much, but I do have a little experience in that department. So I do know where that lifestyle comes from. I know that when you have more money, you tend to have less discipline. That's not necessarily always the case, but marriage takes a lot of discipline, and lust and that type of behavior in life is just normalized now, basically. That's all I really have as far as input. I don't really follow trendy things like that. So,
did he get a head injury in a game or something? Did he get? Maybe he got kicked in the head in the last football season or something. I don't know.
I could definitely agree with that. There's a lot of stupidity that comes with lust, so it's based off of your primal instincts. So,
I'd have to say, all these athletes are not good with their finances in general. It may just be financial education. If you look, whatever, NBA, NFL, doesn't matter. How many of them have baby mamas? How many of them have kids? It's almost, well, I've made it. I have unlimited wealth. And I don't even know if marriage, I mean, you said he was 30 or he is 30.
Mm-hmm.
So he got with this gal pretty young.
Yeah.
I don't think the concept of marriage was all that serious within him as it would be per a lot of the professional athletes. So this is just, I'll throw money at it and it goes away.
It could have been cultural because he's African. So he got married early as a cultural thing, right? And then he started making more money and all of that stuff. And obviously, but I think that Kevin Samuels, he said that athletes and entertainers don't count as what he would call kind of like the high value thing, right? You know what I'm saying? They're in their own category because they're different than like a lawyer who had to work to become partner at the firm, or a guy who built his own business up, who did the long game to actually build up so he understands what a mistake could cost him. Whereas these young athletes, they're just shoving dump trucks of money up to their house, So
okay. Everyone should know this, but what are the 2 biggest reasons why athletes go broke?
Financial literacy.
It's got to be divorce or
Child support.
Alimony and child support. Okay.
Here's the thing: as a man's net worth goes up, his sex drive goes up. Okay, so maybe he wasn't getting it at home, and now he's got this porn star who does everything, right? And this is the outlet that he chose to unleash, if you will.
Okay, so real fast, I'm gonna shotgun the panel real fast. Quick answer, everybody. Prediction 5 to 7 years from now for for Nicholas Pepe, what does his life look like? Go ahead.
Divorce.
Shambles.
Shambles.
Not good. Definitely not good.
Down to 7.5 million.
Did he marry the porn star? Did he marry her?
No,
Yes.
but they're wait. Did they get married? I thought they were in talks of getting married.
They're engaged.
They're engaged.
No. Was it kids and what? Next year he'll have a kid with her?
God, they're
Watch.
engaged.
Largely, I think
See
he'll
what
be okay.
happens.
He's got a
You
big.
coach-
got a
You
big-
coach. You coach women.
I do.
This is a win for women everywhere. It's like if she can stick the landing, anybody can.
I think
Hey, I want to introduce Nuke to the panel. Nuke, what's up, man?
What's going on? You guys hear me?
Hey,
What's going on? Nice to see you guys.
give your opinion on the Tiana Trump Nicholas Pepe situation real fast.
I think a lot of the reasons athletes date like turbo sluts like that is just ego. The thrill of being able to lock down a girl like that. I think that's why Kanye dated the Kardashians, just to lock them down and stuff. It didn't work out. I mean, they had kids and all that stuff, but I think it's just ego. Like these kids think they can rule the world and control everything, and they're like, hey, I can do it. I can make a hoe into a housewife. I swear I can. I'm different. And then lo and behold, this happens. So that's my opinion on that.
Okay, and then you know what? Normally I do one trending topic, but I'm gonna have to do two because Pro and I were talking about this earlier. If you're not familiar with the Akash Singh drama, is everyone up to date on that?
It's worse.
Yeah,
Everyone,
getting worse by the hour.
Worse.
guys. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we heard a little something about that.
Okay.
This has
So-
been terrible marketing for Indian women. They were kind of seen as like better. And stuff. This has been terrible marketing.
So she's getting flamed for disrespecting her husband. And,
Who's typing?
yeah, I hear
sorry.
someone typing.
I muted him. Go
So
ahead.
this is the latest version of her podcast, and this is her response to all of us red pill influencers. Watch like 45 seconds of it.
Where the fuck has chivalry gone?
Yeah, that's
Where has chivalry gone? Like, why do these men who make $60,000 a year talking about gold diggers? You don't have any gold to dig. You don't have to worry. You don't even have to worry about it. It's like, bro, we're not even talking about you because the guys that are actually in the 1% tax bracket, they want to do like the things that my husband and Nav are doing. They want to take care of women. They don't want us to be stressed. They want to be in our divine. They want us to be in our divine feminine energy.
So let's quickly. She doesn't work. She's trying to start her own social media following by rinsing out her husband. She said all these things about messing around with guys in college and how she doesn't cook or clean or anything like that. She's pretty much trying to build her social media experience off at the cost of her husband, and she's saying stuff like
And
that.
he's paying for it is the worst part.
Yeah, dude. Yep. Okay.
Wife is the biggest ROI that you'll ever have.
Hold on, sorry.
Investing in your wife, divine. They want us to be in our divine feminine energy. Investing in your wife is the biggest ROI that you'll ever have. Investing in your wife is not a financial burden because when you treat your wife like a princess or a queen, you spoil her, you give her stuff, you just let her be able to relax. She gets into this divine feminine energy, this divine feminine aura. In return, she starts taking care of you in a much better way. She's so emotionally supportive of you because women are so strong in their EQ and how they can take care of men and like really comfort them on this level that they, really haven't gotten since they were with their moms, and not
Can we just stop?
Who wants to go first?
It gets worse. She starts talking about Eastern physics and all this foolishness. But she said all the modern woman talking points. Oh, men are brokies and men don't have any gold to dig and all this foolishness. But there's also a follow up on his part where he was on stage. He addressed this and he told this story about like how he was broke and she stayed by him, and it turns out that story is not true. That she left him in 2018 when he was broke and went to India. Then he had to go to India to like track her down. So he's like trying to do damage control on the road. while during his comedy specials. Ugh.
You guys, speaking of comedy specials, I guess you guys know Bill Burr's quote, "Women are surrounded by this tornado of misinformation. Nobody corrects them because we want to fuck them."
Yeah.
So I think that's a perfect example of this. She's very attractive. I'm top 5%, whatever. And when they start spewing nonsense like EQ and women are, or marriage is the number one with the highest ROI, which I have an entire book and audited by an actuary that says the contrary, that it's the worst investment in many regards. This is a person who just had everything handed to her and is not an adult. And that's, like nails on the chalkboard, listening to her manage to talk for 4 minutes and not say a damn thing. And so she's hot. He went with her. Now he's got to deal with this because this is not a responsible adult who's even capable of selflessness or thinking that other people exist, including her husband. So it's just a spoiled child who's painful to listen to because she's never lived in the real world.
Well, this is proof that, guys who have money who get these chicks, you can have money, she still won't respect you. And she'll treat you like absolute crap, So
pull up that picture again. Just look at his body language, right?
We need the green lines
It's
on that.
absolutely terrible.
And there's so many examples of him trying to kiss her on the lips, and she does and denies him in front of
He's
everybody.
like disgusted.
Look,
Just
you
look
see
at the
that?
body language. That is not indicative of attraction in the slightest way, shape, or form.
That's performative. Yeah, definitely.
It's sad. It's actually sad.
There's a compilation going around of every time that he's gone to kiss her, and he's done this to her. He bought her like a new ring, like a new expensive wedding ring,
like 4 or 5 different times, right?
Yeah. And in front of everyone, he goes to kiss her, and it's a big ring, and she goes, cheek, kiss me on the cheek in front of their whole family and friends. So, dude's a simp.
Yep.
Anyone else on the panel dealing with Al?
I guess to be fair, she kind of has a point. Like, as a man, your most important investment will be the partner you pick. So if we want to throw her a grain of salt, she is right there. If you wife up a hoe, she's gonna fuck your friends and take half your shit. If you wife up a wholesome girl, that's a good investment, right? She'll take care of you. She'll have your children.
I'm not sure that's what she said, though. I'm pretty sure she just wanted the dude to invest in her finances.
That's true.
I don't think she was talking about her personally.
I don't like her farming clout. Like, she's already rich. Now she wants the clout.
Right.
I'll tell you this, not once
Never
have I
know.
ever said, do I want feminine energy in my woman? I've never, and that was like her selling point. Give me a couple $1 million, I'll give you feminine energy.
Oh, wait, it's the divine feminine. Get
divine
it right.
feminine, yes. High grade feminine energy. Yes.
If that means calm and collected, sure, but I don't think that's what she was going for either.
Yeah.
I think a lot of women have that feminist mindset, and they don't really think what they say they do. So
I just think that she doesn't, either she doesn't know or doesn't care. Probably doesn't care the amount of damage that this is doing, because he's a comedian. So think about all the ammunition. Comedians rag on each other. All the ammo is going to give even his co-comedians, just rip this guy to shreds.
Yeah, and she just keeps going. Like, she did another video today talking about if she wouldn't have married him if she had to sign a prenup.
What is her background? Is she just from a wealthy family or something? I mean, she's not an engineer or served in the military, I'd imagine.
She's pretty enough. That's her background.
Yeah.
Right.
She found a simp.
And it's crazy because, guys, Indian chicks are either gorgeous or they're gargoyles. There is no in between. So she's just one of those like rare Indian chicks that's kind of up there in looks. But the ones that aren't are, So I get it. From what I saw when they first met, she was just working like a regular job. So she might have a college degree, but she's not like a doctor or a lawyer. She's not that type of Indian woman where she's super accomplished. So.
Okay. Anyone else will comment
it's
on?
tough. He seems like a short guy. He probably grew up getting bullied.
Yeah.
And the only way that he thinks he can get a woman was probably just to throw all his money at her. And he thinks it's a tough situation that he ended up in. I think a lot of times that happens to guys who might have been picked on or bullied because they were smaller or whatever. And now he's basically bullied by his wife.
A lot of
Okay.
men.
Well, she kind of answered her own question. You know, she says, where's all the chivalrous men at? But I mean, she said it herself. She can't even think about her own husband whenever she's using the vibrator, right?
Yeah.
She gets dried right up, you know? So that's why nobody wants to be that guy.
Okay.
It's so
I'm gonna
embarrassing.
go.
I put the video with him trying to cope on stage in the private chat. You want to go to
do that
6 minutes? Okay.
On a separate show because I
Okay,
want to move
no
to the
problem.
main topic. Anyone else want to comment on this, Nuke? Anyone?
I think it's his fault. I think a lot of women will become this if you just don't have any if you have no backbone as a man. This is what women become. Like this is like it's like 2 + 2 = 4. This guy probably never told his girl no. Like she's like, hey, I'm gonna go do this with my girls. He's like, okay, whatever you want. Here's my credit card. Spend whatever you want. That for like 10 years, this is the outcome. It's just a woman that thinks she can say or do whatever she wants. Of course, she's gonna act like this. It's because women or men, we create. We're Dr. Frankenstein, and we create this. This is our fault. Not saying that, like if you do everything right, women will be perfect, right? But it's pretty obvious that this guy is a beta by definition. And if you can't even get your wife to look at you like with admiration, despite who you are, this is the outcome. This is it. Like, he created this. So good job, Akash. You did it. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, I don't know how long. I don't know what started this whole trend of rinsing your husband or your boyfriend out for clout. I don't know when it started, but it's just getting worse and worse as time goes by. Awful. Okay, so we're going to move to the main topic. So, it is the holiday season. Hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving, and you're going to be set up to have a Merry Christmas if you celebrate whatever. But this polarizing political environment, you have all sorts of people saying, you have the views say that you should just leave your family who are on the right behind and don't spend any time with them, whatever. So the topic is, how do you navigate? We're going to start with, how do you navigate the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas dinner with people of opposite political beliefs? I'm going to share my screen and give you a couple of examples. And make sure to like the stream if you haven't already, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm going to make sure that everyone shares where you can find them by the end of the show. So when they say where to find them, make sure to give them a sub, okay? And let me entire screen share. All right, good example is right here.
In cages, God cares about men and women being swished away from their home with no court order. God was an immigrant.
Yeah, yes, he was.
God was an immigrant.
Jesus Christ.
What I find funny is that she made it a point to wear a shirt that says "fuck Trump" and "fuck you for voting for him" to her family's Thanksgiving gathering. Here's my thing: if you know that you hate your family's political views and can't be mature about it, why would you show up just to start problems, ruin everybody's night because you too fucking emotional and dumb? And where the fuck do y'all get this?
So there's that one, and then let me share the other one real fast. Other one's even better. Give me 1 second, y'all. 1 second, and then this other one right here. Buckle up, because this girl's nuts. Oh, hold on 1 second. Oh, where'd you go? Okay, share the screen real fast. 1 second. Share. Okay, one more time. The entire screen. Are you guys ready?
Because my family's all MAGA.
Oh, yay!
With my family.
Do you know who that is?
Who's that?
That's her mother. Is the one that's suing me. I hate her mom.
No, is it?
It cost me $60,000 this month.
Whoa!
Ain't this the girl who had a falling out with her dad? And they made it
Yeah,
public?
yeah. Her
Okay,
dad came
yeah.
on my show, and then her
Uh,
mom decides to drag everybody to court. It's amazing.
and that's why and that's why it makes you laugh and be like, all you have to do is get a prenup when you get married. All the woman has to do is challenge it, and even if it stays, you have to spend thousands upon thousands of dollars going to court because she wants to say she didn't understand what understand meant when she signed the prenup.
Yeah, even if they have no case, they can just waste your time and money. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
I do not spend Thanksgiving with my family because my family's all MAGA and I'm gay, etc. And here's the thing, here's the freaking rub, egg on my face, because you would think that because I'm not spending my Thanksgiving with my MAGA family, that it's like I'm escaping all of the turmoil and fighting. You would think that I'm free. You would think I've set myself free by refusing to attend, but because what did I just do for the last 45 minutes while I was getting ready for my Friendsgiving? I had imaginary arguments with my conservative extended family in my head. Like, I'm actually so heated right now by these hypothetical arguments. Like, I was dipping in and out. I was bobbing and weaving. I was pulling out statistics. I was pulling out anecdotes. I was pulling out, arguments in their own skewed Christianity worldview. I was using those things against them. I was flipping things. I was Uno reversing. I was turns tabling, like me and my uncle in my head just really got into it about Snap. Me and one of my Republican aunts, we had this huge fight about trans women in sports. Like, I'm telling you, I literally just enacted all of the Thanksgiving table fighting that I was trying to avoid.
Guys, someone say something.
Stain on her shirt. I was distracted by the stain on your sweater. Sorry. I could not get past that.
So
I mean, it's not like she was-
I think I'd be going to Whataburger myself.
This woman's mother cost me $7,000. I got beef with her.
So
I think she.
So once again, how do you navigate? We're going to start with just the holidays, holiday dinner, Thanksgiving dinner. They say, I'm an independent, but I voted on the right. If you're on the right, how do you deal with someone like the first girl yell and scream? How do you deal with that? How do you navigate it? Anyone?
I don't think I've ever had anyone that liberal at our. I'd say I've been lucky because my family's pretty conservative. Have any of you had that problem? I've never had that problem.
No.
Not on a personal level. I know that my aunts are polar opposites on the political spectrums. One's definitely more vocal. One's definitely a little more insane and vocal. Both. And the other one's definitely Democrat, but a little bit more conservative, if that makes sense at all. Not really, probably. But she gets a little psychotic. She's TDS up the ass. Sorry, I don't know how much I can curse on here, but I don't really know how to put that bluntly. But yeah, without taking it too personally, I've just tried to separate myself from both of them. And I've gained a lot of independence just being by myself and not surrounding myself with my family. Because
you said you call the police.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, I call the police. No, seriously, you take out your phone, record them, and you call the police because I'm worried about their safety. These people are crazy. They're no longer your family, right? Your family's supposed to have your back and you're supposed to be able to talk to them and be like, hey, we're gonna have Thanksgiving, no political talk. Can we keep it civil? That's it, right? But if they're
need a
doing
little
that,
political talk though at the Thanksgiving table, right? There needs to be a little bit of something.
No,
But if
there
you're
doesn't
right
have to be. No.
maybe the kids will talk.
One
right?
mic,
As
one mic,
adults.
one mic.
This is America. There should be.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take down my American flag on the front porch or anything. I get that, but at the end of the day, it's just hey, you're in my house, right? This is my house. I invited you. Either you act like a civil adult or you get out. And if you don't want to get out, I'm calling the police. It's over. We're done. It's 2025. We're done. It's over. I'm not dealing with this anymore.
Yeah, there's only one way to handle that if somebody crashing out, and that's to take out your phone and record it so we can talk about it and the internet can see it. That's the only way to handle a crash out like that. Just record.
I don't know, to just grab it to go plate and leave, but
I think a lot of the time when this happens is when you have a mom and a dad that are fairly conservative, and then their daughter or
Goes off to
daughters,
college.
plural, go off to college, and they come back with the bull ring and the tattoos, because it happens in like a semester. Like the little nice girl that they sent off to to college, one semester back.
But
and
who's
into
paying
World War
for it?
III.
That kind of
Exactly.
goes back. It kind of goes back to what Nuke said earlier, how monsters are created because the parents are the ones paying for it. But like they'll still pay for it, even though they're like basically paying for their daughter or son to get indoctrinated.
I don't think the majority of the arguments people are going to have is with veritable psychos like that, where police being called to be requirement. But generally, you want to get, your goal is to make mom happy. So whether you're a Democrat or Republican, you shut up. Just don't feed them fire, don't give them oxygen. You just make mom happy so that she can have her Thanksgiving and her Christmas, and that's it. And then in the rest of your life, you have nothing to do with those people. But it really is for moms. So I just practical advice. But yeah, if they're crazy and flying off the handle, yeah, then don't show up.
I think the second video, that girl was kind of coping in a way, because she's like, oh, I'm not going, but I really want to go so I can talk about everything I believe in. So I'm playing it in my head. I think that was like an elaborate cope on her part.
Her dad's so nice too. That's so nice.
You got to wonder what
Probably
happened.
gets it from the mom.
I could tell you what happened. Her mom's literally dragging me to court right now.
It's always the
I
mom.
yeah, it's definitely the mom.
Has anyone had a crash out like that at Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas
Never.
dinner where you had to leave or kick somebody out? Anyone?
Never, no.
I mean, I was expecting a good story.
I have one liberal aunt that sometimes we'll go back and forth with, but it's always respectful. Like I usually the conversations I can think of, I mean, nobody gets mad or anything. Like they just kind of give each other shit and then move on to the next topic.
Okay. So now we're gonna move on to: can you date someone who has a different political opinion or opposing political beliefs? And of course, I have some examples. These are short and sweet, but before everyone says, "Oh yeah, oh no," let me bring this up real fast. Guys, make sure to like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. Really appreciate that. And let me hit this real fast. Okay.
Today, I had a friend ask me today if I could ever date someone with different political views than mine. And even like 5 years ago, I would say maybe if we could compromise on different things, agree to disagree. But honestly, nowadays, with everything that's going on in the world, I actually don't know how you could. I don't know how you could sit at a dinner table with your spouse as you're talking about where to send your kids to school, how to raise your children, what decisions to make with your income if you guys have differing views on policy. I mean, does it work for anyone? Like I'm genuinely curious if it can.
Well, see, that's a problem. She assumes we're making that decision together.
Just one more. Real fast. Wait 1 second. Listen quick too.
You know how they say not to talk about politics and religion on the first date? I could not disagree more. For a matter of fact, I like to ask guys about their faith and political beliefs before we even go on a date, because I'm personally very passionate about what I believe in. So why would I want to go on a date with someone whose values and beliefs don't align with mine? I'm Catholic and conservative, so if you're an atheist liberal, that's fine, live your life, but there's no way that we're compatible in the long term. Plus, I'm dating for marriage, and my future husband's also going to be the father of my children, and we need to have those same fundamental beliefs. I don't want to waste either of our time and energy and the guy's money. Also, some of the best dates I've been on, we're talking about God the whole time. So girls, listen up. It's not just about dating a cute boy who treats you well. Those are both very important, but we can't avoid the crucial conversations about values and beliefs. It's not healthy or beneficial to develop strong feelings for someone before you ever have those conversations. Get them out of the way in the beginning and you'll save yourself from heartbreak.
She's banged a liberal guy. I bet money.
Yeah, 100%.
Men will just lie. Men will just lie. Men lie without anything to get laid. She's filtering for liars. That's what she's doing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Dirty Rotten People. I want to hear your opinion on this. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think I think nowadays it has a lot to do with the political extremism. When it comes to the division, like right now, like people aren't really their political differences and the discussions that they have. They're not like well, I think more funding should go to our local schools, and my husband thinks that they should go to infrastructure. Right now it's more like if you don't believe in what I believe in. You're trying to unalive everybody like me. Like say like on the TikTok streets, right? We got most of the T people, all your transformers. Their general belief is that like if you don't affirm their pronouns, you're contributing to mass trans genocide, right? So it's like, and this is a lot to do with the politics, the politicians and the media. That's how they try to spin their narratives. Super extreme, right? So yeah, right now there's just not going to be much meeting across the table, right? There's not going to be a lot of people dating. As a matter of fact, I pulled up some statistics I might could share at some point on Grok. That's pretty interesting. That talks about how people now more than ever really are. They're more politically divided. They're not interested in dating people with different political opinions, and they're very comfortable with separating or divorcing over difference in political beliefs. So yeah, we're very, very separated politically right now, for sure.
I love liberal chicks. They're the easiest chicks you could pull. They're so easy. They're so easy. So I love them. All right, but listen, would I marry one? Absolutely fucking not. All right, there's no shot in hell I would marry one. So
hey, they're sexually liberated, bro. They're easy.
Yeah, sexually. I will say this though: women believe what they want, and they'll change their beliefs for the right guy. Okay, so as long as you're able to get them to like you and fall in love with you, they'll change their beliefs in a fucking heartbeat. I've done it. I've seen it a million times. Should you marry those type of girls? If she's been a liberal for more than 2 years, even 6 months, she's probably been through the block. So you should probably not marry that. But women are very, they're like clay. So they'll believe whatever they want to believe for the right guy, even more so.
Okay, dating with Alex, you're a dating coach. So go for it.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically stole some of the words out of my mouth. My toxic masculinity take on the subject is a woman will take on the views of the man that she's with. If she's truly in love with a man, she will conform to his worldviews, politically, religiously, et cetera, et cetera. The reality of the fact is most women today are liberal, and you can look at the voting numbers and it's clear as day. So honestly, I think it's our job as men to date these liberal women, to take them back from the state, if you will, to psyop them into our worldviews, right? It's our responsibility. We have to take our women back from the state propaganda. It can be done. It can be done.
Nuke, do you want to expand on the point you had put in the chat that both of the women are feminists?
Yeah, I think both of these women are feminists because they both well, it's like all women are feminists to an extent because they all kind of like watch out for their own first. The second girl was like, oh, he's going to be my future husband, blah, blah, this. But it's just like, you can just tell through her body language how like, she's like a nag and she's like, my man has to be like this and that. Yeah. She doesn't sound like a fun woman. She sounds like
my husband, my children. Uh-oh.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like this kind of like energy of like, she doesn't want to get to know you. She wants a plow horse. She just wants a guy she can put on the plantation and work for him while she does absolutely nothing and pretends to be Catholic all day. We see it on Twitter. I mean, you debate them all the time. Those are the type of women, the Lila Roses of the world, the whatever. That's what they do. They nag men all day and then do 1% of the wife stuff. It's just like, no, I could easily tell. I don't think first dates are for planning the future. I think men should just focus on having fun, and it's relationship is her problem. If you want to be a good woman for me, figure it out. You're a woman. It's your problem. I'm Republican, I'm right wing, whatever, but I'm not going to like try to convince you. You have to do that yourself. If you don't meet my standards, then I can go find another girl. You can find another guy. Really.
Mm-hmm. Aaron, what do you think?
Pretty much what people have echoed here before. Younger women, more attractive women, as you said before, they tend to be liberal because they're younger. Most of these girls have been given this ideology because absent children and husband and marriage and family, what other God are they going to have? And so they go with the God that schools gave them. So it's, feminism, rah, rah, girl boss and all that. But then when it comes to more serious matters, like if you're going to commit to that, yes, the girl, if this is why you should not, I will never date a Democrat or a woke girl. No, go ahead. As long as they don't got hairy armpits, go date them. If you like to be find them physically attractive. And then if they really like you, I mean, they'll throw all of that out the door. Unless it is absolutely, core to their being. And in which case they're not. I will tell you this, woke women, left-leaning women are basically antithetical to marriage because being woke, being left and all that generally is parasitic and selfish. They have no capability of responsibility, self-supportation, or selflessness, which is what love is. And so, yes, you kind of got to discern, does she have good morals? Because all young girls are going to be Democrats, leftists, woke, whatever. They're going to say the popular thing. Is there a quality woman inside there who's like, you could sit her down, show her the budget, say, look, sweetheart, this is how it really works. Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, I was just phased or whatever. But if this is the hill they're going to die on and it's become part of their actual moral fiber, not just a platitude or something they regurgitate to be popular on social media, you cannot, I'll say this, it is to be happy and have a successful marriage. You cannot marry a leftist, a socialist, a woke woman, or a Democrat. They're not, their moral code is not compatible with marriage.
I don't know if you would have these numbers, but when you were writing your book, was there a difference in debt between liberal and conservative women?
I never pulled the data.
Okay.
No, I would imagine there is, because only in so far as liberal women tend to choose worthless degrees more. And that's the number one financial thing affecting young women in particular is their student loan debt. And not to say there isn't like a sociology majoring Republican girl out there, but generally leftist women will skew towards your worthless degrees and have the debt and the student loans that come with it. So you would probably find a positive correlation, but it wouldn't be, oh, you're a Republican, well, you must be a STEM major with $300,000 in the bank. That's not a guarantee.
And when you were dating, did you find that any liberal women like started to adopt your beliefs? Like, did you ever date liberal women?
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, there's a couple gals. One realized, being a teacher is stupid. Anyone can do it. Some gals started, they would appreciate my hustle, because when I was younger, obviously, like all of us, we were, living in basements, and I'd say, no, I can't do it. I don't have the money, or I'd fix my own car or something like that. So your actions, which are kind of apolitical, they started coming around and like, or helping them with taxes was a huge thing where I'm like, here's what you paid in taxes. And they're like, oh my God. I'm like, well, you voted for it. So you as a person, and as you date them through apolitical behaviors, morals, ethics, they'll start to, or just simple adult responsibility, they will probably come along or at least understand. But it doesn't happen. It's not like the third date we sat down and read Atlas Shrugged, and now she's like, oh my God, I'm totally conservative and let's have sex and here's the lingerie outfit. It took a little longer than that, but yes, you can change them over time.
And actually, I was going to ask you, Jesse, when you were dating, or when you're dating, how long does it take for a girl to go from liberal to conservative if she ends up adopting your beliefs?
Like 3 hangouts. Like hang out with her 3 times. They're like kind of real. But one armpit shave washes a liberal away. All right, like that's how it works. Just really quick before I go on, I think this is a really good point. Women sell purity. And they're going to catch on eventually where they're like, oh, wait, men want conservative women. And so to automatically go in and assume, oh, she's not a slut because she's a conservative is kind of like a big flaw that you want to take a step back from, right? That's how guys get played. So take it with a grain of salt and judge her based on her behaviors, right? How she treats us, stuff like that, rather than just saying, oh, she's conservative. She must not be a slut, right? Because I've been to those country clubs where they're all wearing boots and they're all conservative. And I'll tell you something, they still get around, all right, whether they're conservative or liberal. So don't base it off of that. Base it off her actions and really do a background check on these women before you dive into any sort of marriage talk.
Cool. I want to hear from Spirit Chili.
I kind of wanted to piggyback off of what he said because liberal women do tend to be way more impressionable than conservative women because conservative women tend to get their views from their lifestyle and their youth. I will say I did live in Portland. I was a vegetarian for 4 years, a vegan for 2. I did have a septum. I never identified as liberal, but I was definitely a Democrat, and I'm from Democrat states. I was an activist. I did all of those things. I wasn't necessarily liberal. I never identify as liberal.
Don't lie to me. You have the pink hair.
I will continue. Well, this is red,
I'm
first
just
of all.
joking.
I did have it pink and I did have it purple. I had it all, I'm an alt. I'm actually kind of dressed up kind of decent today because this is my first podcast. But I do know that I red pilled myself based off of logic and reasoning. And the reason why those liberal women will tend to change their narrative and their perspective based off of the men that they are with is because they're impressionable women. Because
who red pilled you? What creator?
Honestly, I don't think it was necessarily a specific creator.
Was there a Canada event?
Well, I had a natural DMT experience, a spiritual awakening, hence the name Spirit.
But wait, but
what
what content were you watching? Like what YouTubers?
So it wasn't influencers, it was personal experience. I've been around. I lived in New Mexico and I experienced Trump derangement syndrome firsthand. I was actually there. This was before I was supportive of Trump. I was in the Trump rallies. I don't know if you guys are familiar with what happened in Albuquerque, New Mexico a long time ago. There was a big riot. They put out tear gas. I was in that crowd. I was there for observation and I realized that something kind of clicked in my mind and I was still back in New Mexico and I eventually did move to Portland. But that's when the wheels started turning for me that I did not fit in with all of this social media influence. I didn't fit in with the narrative of activism because my policies, my ideas, my beliefs were more independent focused. And I've always kind of been what's the black sheep. And I think that's kind of where it comes from. I didn't grow up with my mom either. I think that's the biggest influence is I did not grow up with my mom. And I grew up with my dad and he was super hyper independent. I kind of had to raise myself. So everything I learned, I've just learned from experience. Not a lot of women get that. And
Are you still in Portland?
No.
Okay, good. I was going to say move.
No, actually, I left as soon as COVID happened because my instincts did kick in because I was a part of the petitioning for like psilocybin therapy and drug reformation there. And I had some doubts with the drug reformation that did happen in Oregon. And a lot of that, when COVID kicked in, I knew.
You have to say the cough. Don't say.
Oh, cough. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. I forgot it's YouTube. Sorry.
Yeah.
Trust me, I've been demonetized. I had more social media influence before I started talking about this topic. So I understand. Sorry. But yeah, so my instincts kicked in as soon as 2019 happened and I left that state and I've kind of just been on the observation end of everything and just kind of seeing things from a broader lens.
So I'm going to bring you back to the topic.
Yeah.
How would you, just with that, take 20 seconds. Do you think it's worth dating someone with oppositional political beliefs? Give me 20 seconds.
I don't think it's worth it. I don't think that's where your values or your strong characteristics with relationships. I mean, if
we forgot one question, we forgot one follow-up question. How good looking are they?
How good looking are
the person with the opposite political beliefs? Because a lot of people say that, but they'll put it aside when they see how good looking.
Yeah, especially guys. If the girl's like a high mid, a lot of these guys would start to simp and be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to the women's march,"
or just clouded. You see how many hot girls bang Destiny?
Like, oh yeah, that's true. Okay.
I grew up around men, so I don't really look.
I think Destiny's the only cuck that out-cucked his wife. Like he cucked his wife harder than she cucked him.
So I'm gonna move it on to. So now we can talk about what I know. Look, guys, we could talk about men shouldn't get married all we want, but in my lifetime, I think that the majority, maybe just below the majority of men, are still going to get married. So, should a guy marry a woman who has oppositional beliefs? And if he does, what is his life likely to look like? So, I'm going to share this real fast because I thought this was interesting. 1 second. Look at this. My experience marrying a Trump supporter as a Latina.
Before I go into the story, I want to preface by saying that I believe there is a difference between a Trump supporter. I married a Trump supporter, and this is how it went. Before I go into the story, I want to preface by saying that I believe there is a difference between a Trump supporter and a Republican. He would constantly say things like, build the wall. Even after I told him how hurtful and disrespectful hearing that was, because I came from a family of immigrants. Because of this experience that I had with my ex, being a Trump supporter is a deal breaker for me. The main reasons for this is because anytime me and my ex argued, he was always threatening to call ICE on my family. And the relationship
Did not happen.
Let's
Did not
go.
happen.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's go.
relationship was very abusive, but I stayed ICE on my family. And the relationship was very abusive, but I stayed because of these threats. I felt guilty a lot of the times for putting my family at risk. He consistently used me as an example as to why he's not racist because he married a Mexican. He basically treated me as an exception. One time we were at his family's house, and his Trump-supporting family cornered me and harassed me about my political views.
Can we just
And
stop this?
actually, I was in
None of this is true. This is
Yeah,
an
it's not.
attention whore with tits. Just this. None of this happened.
I knew this would be a good
I
one.
love how she tried to spin it like she felt like she was imprisoned in this relationship because of fear that her husband might call ICE on her family. That's great. I love that.
Come
You
on,
guys
yeah,
ever
get out of
notice
here.
how women's are either the heroes or the victims in their own stories, but 99% of the time they're volunteers. You notice that? She goes from the victim to the hero.
I have a question for the guys on the panel. How many times a day do you have to hear a woman say something and you have to just listen and think things that never happened?
On the internet?
No, just day to day.
Oh, it's so difficult. I catch myself. I catch myself rolling my eyes after it's too late.
I have such an expressive face that I'm literally trying to work on not showing my disgust and my disbelief. I'm like actively trying to do it because I can't hide it. It's like,
but I think the most important thing about that clip is that the way she's speaking about it, it groups every single guy or whoever's watching it as, oh, they're all assholes who are going to call ICE on these people, right? If you're conservative, which is not true, right? Even if it did happen by any slight chance, that guy's just probably a fucking asshole, right? So it's like, did that really happen? Probably not. But why group everyone that, you know, that we would threaten them and manipulate them in that way, shape, or form? So that's the real problem that I see there. It's why is she grouping everyone as that they're going to take that action and just be very toxic in a relationship like that? You know,
well, once again,
that's a real problem.
It's the female-friendly version of the story. She's the hero and the victim at the same time. That's why she's doing it.
Yep.
I'll tell you this: if you guys ever see me doing my makeup while I'm doing a video, it's over. I'm a liar. Contact the executor of my estate and have him shipped off to Montana, where I'll be euthanized. But yeah, you can tell she's lying. She's doing makeup on that. It was all theater.
This goes to show you guys that what women say online doesn't really matter. You know, like always watch what they do, not what they say. Like, if she wanted to be in that relationship and she stayed, or if she's in a relationship that long and she stayed, it's because she wanted to be there. No one's holding a gun to her head. No one's. I know she had to add in, oh, but then he was gonna call ICE on my family. I'm like, no, like that's not. No one believes that. So it's like you love that man. You enjoyed being in a relationship with that man. As a matter of fact, you liked him saying those things because everyone else was treating you like a princess, and this guy was making fun of you to your face, and you like that. I know that because that's how a lot of Latinas are. They like guys that are Republican or something because of this dynamic. They love the colonizer dynamic. So trust me, I've seen it with my own eyes. I'm Dominican. It's very common. Women will complain about guys that are right wing, and then they'll be the victim, but they just cannot. They love the colonizer dynamic, man. And I've just seen it too many
Have you
times.
guys seen that TikTok of the girl whose boyfriend cheated? And so he was like Hispanic and she brought him to the other side of the border.
What?
What?
Yeah. No, I didn't see that, but Jesus
He was
Christ.
like an illegal immigrant. She found out he cheated, and then she pretended they were just going to a day trip and was just like, "Oh, just sleep. It's okay."
Kind of deserved low key though. You know.
I remember that.
Hey, Cappy, we salute you, brother.
Thank you.
That's what the chat said.
So for a man, what does his life look like being married to a woman like this?
If I could chime in, because I have a friend of mine who's getting divorced right now, and he was kind of liberal when he first met his wife. I think Pearl and Doug MBA, that you might have heard this story, but my friend, he's a PhD in engineering. He makes $250,000 a year. He's a good-looking dude. Pause. You know what I mean? And his wife won't give him kids, right? And she all of a sudden is a non-gender conforming LDHD TV person, and he's been trying to make it. He could work for like 15 years. In the last 6 years, things have come to a head, and now he's like, she didn't think she'd divorce him, but he wants to be a father. He wanted to be a father 6 years ago. And her feminist friends, I'm not a brood mare. You can't make me have children. So now he's kicking her out to the uprights, and that's it. But she didn't think that he'd leave. So that's his whole life. They've been together since from 28 to 42. And, she just went all super far left. They're both left. Now he's a conservative. But yeah, no kids, LDHD TV, even though they live as heterosexual couple, but it's just, it can't work. It cannot work. No.
Basically wasted his whole life with her.
Sounds like he didn't do a good job vetting her,
Say again?
It sounds like he didn't do a good job vetting her,
Well, they met in a different state in grad school, and then when they moved to DC, her friend group completely changed. So about six years into the relationship, 4 years into the marriage is when she dropped the bomb, like no kids. And then he wasted the next 6-7 years trying to change her mind. Now I say, if you want kids, you're with a chick, and she says no kids, you can't convince her. Just get out. Period. That's the one thing that you can't compromise on. And I would say politics, two things, right? But I would say that when he started seeing signs, he should have kind of bowed out earlier, So
yeah,
because we had said how impressionable that women are. So once their entire friend group changes to more blue-haired, septum ring-pierced chicks, it was just cooked. That's that.
Okay. People
Yeah, and a lot of people get fooled. A lot of men get fooled because a lot of these women, especially in the Hispanic community, they come off as conservative, but really they're covert feminists. As it turns out, a few years later, a few kids later, they promote divorce, and they need that child support and that alimony.
Yeah, it's the Yas Queen culture. Latinos are very susceptible to the Yas Queen and you go girl bosses stuff. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, here's how I see it. Like, from what I've seen in my family, it's like they innately have the software or the hardware to be good women, but they are very susceptible to ratchet culture. They're very susceptible to you go girl stuff. But the thing is, that's why they kind of stopped dating Latinos, because Latinos come from very conservative Catholic families and they don't really deal with that stuff. So they date other races because they want to be that. They look at white women and black women are like, I want to be that because it looks better. Because being Latina is like, you gotta serve your husband. It's very ingrained in the culture. But all right, guys, I gotta go. But nice talking to you guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks, bro, for having me on.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, I mean, he's right though. That's why Kosh Singh's wife's online right now talking about popping her pussy. I mean, they can only stay so conservative for so long. You know, it's too boring.
Such bad marketing for the Indian women. I feel like Indian women have generally had pretty good marketing at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
white women have kind of ruined our marketing with like the transitioning kids and like the liberal feminine, you know. But Indian women haven't had a real L in the media. Black women don't need to say more, you know. But Indian women, they had decent marketing till now. Now it's over. I mean, like when I did my interviews, I think that's one of the number one races that I would hear like the divorce rate mentioned. Or it's like, oh, go to India, they don't have divorce. But now
it used to be
cooked.
It used to be Latinas until Nuke just ruined it for everybody.
No, it's the jig's up on the Latinas. They've seen what happened to Selena Gomez. They get fat. Men will forgive a lot, but they won't forgive fat.
And also Giselle's Brazilian. That counts as Latina. So Giselle will just
cook.
You know.
Yeah, I mean Latinas. I can't think of any Indian woman that's like been terrible marketing before this. I can't think of one.
Mandy Kaling.
I don't
Mia
know.
Khalifa, no, isn't she?
She's Arab.
No, Mia Khalifa is a Middle Eastern.
Okay. I'm gonna go around the panel. I want.
I wouldn't know.
I'm gonna do Aaron, Spirit, dating with Al, dirty rotten people, Jesse. Okay, your brother, or a man close to you, comes to you and says, "I want to propose to this woman, and she's a raging liberal." Okay, give me like 45 seconds to a minute and tell me what would you say to this guy that you cared about who is about to get on one knee and marry this liberal crazy person. How would that conversation go? Aaron, go ahead.
I would basically say you're about to ruin your life by marrying someone who's parasitic and doesn't want to work, who is not capable of love because she is woke or leftist or whatever, and her God, her ideology is not you. It is other people, randos, kids, immigrants, criminals, anyone else but you. And you cannot form a relationship with that person because frankly, they're inhuman because they are not capable of respecting other people's life and time and money. And me being a misanthrope, I just walk away at that because I've learned to be a stoic and not stop people when they're making mistakes because they're going to make them anyway. So that'd be my 45-second pitch.
Okay.
I'm very stoic myself. I would definitely not chime in this situation, but given the force of having to chime in the situation, yeah, definitely. She's a narcissist. She's going to make a lot of decisions for you, and if that's what you want to lean into, go forward. But that's what's going to happen. But that's about it. 30 seconds, 10. Sorry. That's all I really have. She's gonna make the decision.
I'd say do it because you're gonna do it anyway. Obviously, you're in this deep with the she's Gluck 3000. She's doing something. I don't know what, but she's doing something right. So I'd say you might as well just do it. But I would get a prenup.
Best way to learn is from your own mistakes.
I'm kind of with Aaron on this. I think most people are just gonna do it anyway. So why waste my breath?
Yeah. Don't get emotionally involved. It hurts, but say your piece so you're free. Like, hey, I did my part. And then,
Yeah, I guess I'd maybe add in stop simping, please. And then, just move on.
You could definitely do better.
Yeah.
Dating with Al, go ahead.
I would say don't do it yet. Your job's not finished, brother. I would say, like I said at the beginning of the panel, a woman will take on the worldviews of the man that she's in love with. So if my brother is conservative, she's not ready for that ring, bro. She's not. You got to continue to reprogram her from the Netflix programming. So I would say, hey man, I know you like her, but job's not finished, bro. You got to keep it going. Hold off on the ring. Tell her no. Okay, men. This is where men get in trouble. He can have good intentions. Like he's a nice guy. He wants to be kind to his partner. So he says yes to everything. But women crave being told no. And it's actually a great test to see if they deserve marriage, right? Can they handle being told no? Or if they don't get their way one time, then shit hits the fan.
Yeah. Let's shift the word marriage to assets, right? Do they deserve assets? I think if we thought about it like that, we would shift our perspective. But also for the record, if I become good friends with all of you and you see me doing something like that, please shoot me in the fucking head. Just don't let me actually do it. All right. The first thing I would do though, it's something that was covered earlier on that's really important. Vetting is a two-step process. All right. In order to be able to vet, you have to earn the vetting right. Right. So the first thing I would ask him is like, how many other women have you been with? Because if he's willing to do that mistake, he probably hasn't been with many women. He doesn't know how they operate probably. So I'd start there. It'd be 5 seconds and get the conversation going. So I could convince him not to do that if I truly cared about him.
Okay.
Can I ask something? Or are we gonna I just as far as like the I was just wondering, as far as like the vetting goes, is there any like necessity, like as far as like dating in general, where you feel like that's your obligation? Or I mean, like, is that why you feel the need to waste the time, or is that just
it's
kind
not
of
a waste of time?
It's
It's not a waste of time at all. It's the best investment a man can make.
Okay.
Men get better with experience, right? That's why older men are more attractive. Right? A young man who has never had any experience in the world is worthless. Right? And the same thing goes with women. So it's one thing. Back in the day, it was different because you had guidance, right, from your family, like, oh, this is a good woman, right? There's protection here and there. That guidance is gone. It's no longer existent. So we have to seek that guidance on our own. And a man has to go out into the real world and learn what's actually proper with women, what works, what doesn't, so he doesn't get fooled in the long run. So it's not a waste of time in any way, shape, or form. Now, I'm not saying go sleep with every girl you meet, right? But get an idea of how they behave before you get down on one knee. So it's not a waste of time in the slightest.
I wanted to ask, so we have guys out here who are trying to build themselves up, using all their bandwidth to make themselves better. How much is too much when it comes to vetting? Because should a guy have like a set criteria as to how much time and how much effort before he starts going out there to vet? Is there a such thing as too much? Like, if a woman's a liberal raging feminist, but she's hot, how much time should a guy put into trying to change this woman? How much time and effort?
Just enough to hit it and then bounce.
Amen.
I was gonna say he shouldn't. If she's not
Does it really take that much effort with women, though?
I don't think it takes that much effort for liberal or conservative women.
That's a good point.
Are you right? People, go ahead.
Yeah, I think just a couple dates, man. I mean, the thing is, like, you don't have to tell her everything that she needs to believe in the first date, but you at least need to let her know that you are a man of depth and strong views and opinions on things, and therefore she just kind of knows how to operate around you. But I think if my brother was man, if he was going to marry a raging liberal, I would just tell him, I hope you're not too attached to your balls, bro, because they're going to be in her purse for a long time. I can almost guarantee you that it's not going to work out. And even if it does, you're never going to be respected again, and you're going to have to deal with her cheating every once in a while. So, I just think I'd tell him, I'm probably going to have to distance myself from you, but that's probably not going to be a problem because she's not going to let you hang out with me anyway. So,
engineering women fool around a lot. This is code for don't know bird fur. Thank you for the super chat. Engine women? Okay, I don't really understand what he's saying, but thank you for the super chat. I will read it.
AJ, go ahead.
Yeah, well, if my brother had decided to be with a liberal chick, I would just tell him be prepared to come last in your relationship behind Transformers, Palestine, all this other stuff. Climate change, even that comes before you. These liberal chicks make everything issues in their relationship that don't really matter. You know what I mean? Like, you know how many guys I know who are with liberal chicks, and they'll be like, oh, Milwaukee passed some anti-LDHG TV law, and they're like, I don't care. How can you not care? It's like, so all these issues.
Sorry, keep going. Sorry.
No. But like, or the whole, geopolitical thing that these chicks know nothing about. They're gonna argue. They're gonna come home, and you've had a long day's work, and make that issue your issue. It's like a lot of guys just don't care because we're working. So you will come, and if she has kids, it'll go her bastard kids, the dog, Palestine, transitioning kids.
Yeah, but don't you think conservative women do that too? Like I was talking to a conservative relative because I'd say my family's mostly conservative. And this relative kept going on about the food supply. And this was like 45 minutes. I just had to listen to how there's pesticides in the food supply. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to eat it. Like a girl's got to eat. You know what I mean? Like, what am I can't. I'm not going to buy your bullshit like anti-pesticide. That's too much work. I'm just going to die. Like I'll die early if I have to. but like, I don't know if I see a difference like between conservative and liberal women that much.
I would say dating anybody, typically women who are super politically inclined. Sorry, Pearl, this isn't a jab at you.
Oh no, I get it. It's a deficit. It's not a good.
Yeah, it could. You're walking uphill. You're running uphill.
Yeah,
it'd be tough.
I wouldn't recommend it, to be honest.
Well, it's a really, and this would go for anything, whether it's politics, career, or look. And I'm not Christian, but she should have no other God before you, whether that's her career, her politics, right or left. Which is why I don't believe any of these mommy soccer, mom blog, YouTube influencer types lecturing men about having sex and they're Christian or TradCon wife, or a classic tell is they're posing their kid. They use it as a prop. Or Pearl, you had that run in with the gal who took the picture of her posing and it was supposed to be some Orthodox church. It was all about her. The girl needs to put you first. And truthfully, the politics, the career, or whatever else might truly come second, which would inevitably lead towards, if you want to get into political assessment, they're probably going to lean right. But yeah, it's their behavior and like, am I coming first? Or where we started with the comedian guy, and she's using him as a prop, so that it really will tell you everything you do with her actions.
Cappy, you have to find yourself a vodka drunk in a public porta potty before the Rumple Mints.
No, I think drinking the Rumple Mints in the porta potty was good enough.
Someone put in the chat that you have to find a woman that can't speak. Maybe there's like mute women out there.
They can still use sign language and cuss you out.
Yeah, but you can't. You just
They can still hold the frying pan.
Exactly right.
Is there a mute women events in Dallas?
I'm gonna.
You can go and interview their boyfriends. They're probably the happiest guys in the world.
Okay, I'm gonna ask the next question. What has been said on a date or dating someone that you're like, I can't do it, no way? Like that was just an immediate red flag. They say something about a belief or like a political issue, and you do this right then. Because like me, I'll start. So like, you remember when the whole thing popped off with Tiger Woods? Mm-hmm. That was what, like 2008, wasn't it? 2009, something like that. I met up with this girl in Portland, of all places, and a white girl, and we went to Zoo Lights. It was in the wintertime, and everything went good. And then we went out to dinner, and we started talking about Tiger Woods. And I said, look, like everything going, I mean, Tiger Woods is the greatest golfer of all time, and nothing's going to take that away from him. And she's like, yeah, but he was cheating on his wife, and blah, blah, blah. I said, like, so what? He's still the greatest. She's like, I think that the PGA should take all of his titles back because he cheated on his wife.
What?
Like, what? And then she's like, yeah. I said, but he's still the greatest golfer of all time. And then she had the nerve to say, if I was black, I would consider him a traitor to my race because he cheated on his wife. I said,
do you go to real quick, do you go to like the bargain bin at Walmart to find your white women, or where are you going to like?
It's called Washington,
you gotta write a book called White Women I've Dated.
Dude, I've got some stories, man.
It's called
You've
Washington,
never been to
DC.
Portland.
Oh yeah. This is back when I was in the Northwest. But yeah, but Portland is full of those women. But yeah. So right when she said that, like right when she said that, I was like, check please, I'm out of here.
I went on a date with a guy a few years ago that this was before I had social media, like before I had like the channel and stuff. And he told me he was a male feminist, and he like talked about feminism for like 45 minutes on the date. And I'm like, you are barking up the wrong tree. You don't know it, but this is not the right audience.
Is that even a real person, a male feminist? Is that like a person?
I don't know. He was in like law or something. So I think like people in law, especially if they're like fresh in their career, tend to be more liberal. I don't know.
I've heard that liberal men tend to be the ones that are just trying to sleep with you. They're not actually liberal, but I don't know how. I don't know how true
You
that
don't
honestly
say.
is.
No.
I don't know. Maybe that was his strategy, but I was like, this is the wrong tree.
You're
This
such
is the
scumbag.
wrong.
I'm like
the
not.
wrong
I'm like a
market.
male feminist, bro. I'm not like one of those aggro conservatives, bro. Come on. Who you trying to fool? Hey, Pearl, I like, have like a dream catcher, bro.
Hey, I don't know. I don't know. That was the last date we went on, but I mean, if that was his strategy, it was the wrong target market. It's the wrong.
I can play some Jason Mraz on my guitar, bro.
Anyone else have any stories where you're dating someone or you're out on a date and they say a woman or anyone has said something, you're like, nah, this is it. I'm cooked. Check
Horses. When she mentioned she had horses, that was it for me. I'm like, no, I'm out of here.
The horses.
No, I more seriously, I had one gal where we're talking about sex, and she says, "Well, I believe if you're in the middle of having sex and you do," and she says, "Stop," and you do one more thrust, then it is the arrestable offense of sexual badness.
Hooked,
And-
man. Oh, man, no way.
And it's like, okay, yeah, you know what? I agree with you, but the fact you brought that up, I'm just like gonna exit stage right and get the fuck out. Like, I won't do that, but what else is gonna land me in jail with you? So that was a lead.
The fact that you
immediately.
brought it up, that's so
Yeah. By the way, I think it was like, oh, good for you. I'm out.
I had a girl tell me about her abortion on our first date.
Oh,
What? Yeah. She was talking about her ex and blah, blah, blah. Because we all know how these chicks love to talk about their exes and just be totally misandrous on the first date. Oh, men this, men that. And then she was like, and then we this and that. And then after my abortion, I'm like, check, please. Time to go. And she was just nonchalantly, just flippantly talking about it. So, yeah, that was time for
Dating
me to
without
leave.
people, dating without, any stories about
Yeah. I mean, no particular stories, man. Just if they're trash talking their fathers, that's a big one for me. You know, I got to be out of there pretty quick. Bringing up their exes too much, yeah, that's always a no go. I've never had nobody bring up an abortion on the first date, but man, if they did, I wouldn't even pay the check. I would say I'm going to the restroom and I'd sneak out and leave it with them. Fuck it.
Yeah, I don't have any stories in particular. If they're a nurse, I think that's a red flag based on my show.
Yeah.
If they use the term patriarchy, like unironically, probably should reconsider. But on a serious note, I think a line in the sand here, like really considering, is this worth my time at all? Is, I don't know, maybe you're not having this conversation on the first date, but essentially how she feels about Charlie Kirk and what happened there.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, a lot of
that's a
people we
good
thought were like kind of normal seem to celebrate, his death, and he was really a moderate at the end of the day. So if somebody's celebrating the death of a moderate, it's like, okay, they're too far gone. I'm getting up and I'm leaving.
That's a really good one.
I got to dip, guys. But thanks for having me on. Bye, guys.
Thanks for coming, AJ.
Yep.
Jesse, do you have any stories?
Yeah. But one thing I'll say is when you guys are going out to meet these women, especially like the smart ones that sell purity. The last thing I want is to anybody listening to this to get played is when you're out with these women, try to be as non-judgmental as possible.
Oh, that's
And
tough.
that's how you're going to get the real true colors. Okay. And that's how they start talking about these stories. Right. But I do have a story when I had this girl in rotation. I was talking to her about her friend who was a bartender. And you know, we were just talking about it, and she was like, "Yeah, well, you know, she slept with like 50 guys or something." And you know, what's that saying? Birds of the feather flock together. So when she talks about stories about her friends and like what her friends do and how her friends are behaving, that's a huge red flag, because if her friend has done it, she's probably done it too, right? So always take a notice at how her friends behave and how she's behaving with her friends and how she talks about her friends, the crazy stories they've done. They could indirectly tell you what they've done through those fun stories.
Okay. Spirit Chili?
Well, I've definitely never dated a liberal woman, but I know from my separation, my ex-husband, he was definitely a more impressionable person, and didn't have that strong backbone. So definitely need somebody who has a strong backbone and has their own beliefs. But you should definitely let somebody reveal themselves in dating. But I definitely don't. I don't think that you could definitely. I know for a fact that I'd never date a liberal man because I don't really think that they truly exist. I think a lot of that is performative. So that's my only take as far as dating liberals. I don't really have a whole lot of input besides that. Unfortunately, I don't date crazy, strong, opinionated people.
Could I ask you this? Have you ever tried like going on a date with a liberal and then just telling them that you're conservative to see if they switch? Be like, oh yeah, actually, you know what? It's not that bad, and try to like pander out to you.
I tend to not date so much anymore because I'm a lot more reserved because of how polarized people are, and I tend to just kind of stay away from that. I would definitely pull that on somebody. I mean, I know that I'm pretty abrasive with my points of view. I used to have a channel where I talked about my views all the time. So I don't do that so much anymore. I kind of gotten a little bit quiet. Just
Maybe you should, so you could start saving one liberal man at a time.
Conservative. I have been shadow banned because I'm so anti a lot of the things going on right now, but we won't talk about because that's not the topic. So that's just why I've been a little bit quiet, but I'm definitely a vocal person when it comes to my beliefs. I'm a woman. I mean, at the end of the day, whether you're a liberal or a conservative woman, you're a woman. You're going to be strongly opinionated. That's just kind of how it is. And I think your best bet, I do want to give the advice, like I'm sorry, I'm not sure what your name is, but you were the one talking about vetting. Definitely let them reveal themselves in the first few dates, because that will save you a lot of time and trouble and arguments. Because when you aren't good at that type of questioning and trying to get the right information, you're going to spark some type of debate with a very loud, opinionated woman, and that might put a sour taste in your mouth in the future. So just kind of be level-headed and smart about your questions when you do that.
It's already happened. Don't.
And I always say, guys,
learn from your mistakes, so it's better to make them.
I always say, guys, do not afraid to ghost these women, dude. I'm Mr. Ghost. Seriously, just ghost them. Don't argue with them. Don't try to prove any point. Just ghost them. I love going online and seeing, oh, guys, ghost and it's terrible and blah blah blah. Guys, just go. You don't have the time to explain to a woman why you don't want to talk, because women want closure. Even when you go out with them on 1 date or 2 dates, a relationship, they want closure. Don't give it to them. Just ghost them. Don't even tell them what they said to turn you off. Just leave and don't talk to them again.
I actually asked the girl once, I was like, would you prefer for me to ghost you or tell you the truth? And she's like, could you tell me the truth? And I told her the truth. And I from that point forward, I decided I'm never going to tell them the truth ever again.
There you go.
What did you
They don't like the truth.
What did
They
you
don't
say?
like the truth.
Wait, what did you say?
I was like, it was actually, I posted on my Instagram story. It was something along the lines that, hey, it's just like, I think you're great. I always started like, I think you're great, but it's just not a good long-term partnership. And I don't even think I thought I was ready for a relationship, but I actually am not ready for a relationship. So I didn't even give her the whole thing. And I had to bring to the case that she kind of grew up with no dad. And I was like, and I don't want to show you what what a true, masculine figure is in your life, I think that's too much work for me at this moment. So I'll just kind of like go from there.
I really have to chime in here between these two. I'm sorry, but can you please just take one for the team of women? There's so many strong vocal women. Can you just every once in a while put your 2 cents in, just because they probably need to hear it from somebody?
Yeah,
I mean, you don't have to do it every single time because it's not going to work out. Let's be real. But if you put that in the back of their mind, it would be better for us too, because I don't get along with most women because of that.
Starting a
So
super
I'm
PAC.
just
Okay, panel, ghosting, yes or no? Aaron, go ahead and start. Dirty Rotten People, dating with Al, ghosting. What do you think? Men ghosting.
Men ghosting?
Yeah.
No, if you said you're showing up on the date, you show up on the date. That's just basic ethics.
No, but I'm
Huh.
talking if you go out on a date and everything's going along, and then you just don't want to talk to her anymore. You know, you show up. You have integrity and stuff. But like, let's say you go out on a couple of dates, and then she says something, and then you pay the bill, you stop talking to her. And
Yeah, you do not owe her any more of your time. No one owes it. Yeah, and you don't have to follow up with closure. Or I didn't like. No, you absolutely ghost. And if I wanted to be retributive, I rarely had girls give me closure or anything like that. So no, gloves are off, ladies. We're gonna start treating you like you've treated us. So you see how you like it for a couple.
Who do we learn
decades.
it from? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Dirty Rotten People, go ahead.
Oh, I'm pro ghosting, man, all the way, dude. Yeah, all the way. To be honest with you, I try to run all my dates off like as quick as I possibly can, because I've kind of gotten to the point where like I consider my successes to be the numbers in which females I can run off. Right, if I can just send them running for the hills, I'm just like, that's time not wasted right there. So yeah, like. First 5 minutes of the first date, I'm giving them my harshest views, my most offensive outlooks and worldview right out the gate. And if they fucking run off, then great. I can sit there and eat dinner by myself in peace.
No, but I'm talking ghosting. So like, let's say you've gotten past that phase.
Yeah.
First date, second date, third date. Or how about this? You guys are together long enough where you take her to meet your parents, and then you ghost her right afterwards. Is that okay?
Oh man, nah. I mean, if she made it to the meeting the parents phase, man, she must be something special. She must be something special, man. Because I'm not a get past the first date kind of guy. But yeah, I mean, but yeah, still pro ghosting all the way. Like if the food's good enough on our first date to where I actually stick around and eat, then yeah, I'll ghost her afterwards, I guess. Food's got to be good though.
Dirty Rotten, I gotta chime in. I'm a dating coach, okay? You gotta stop. You gotta cut that out. You can't tell your most fucking radical beliefs on the first date, bro. You're gonna come across like a psycho.
Oh, dude, it saves so much time. It saves so much time, bro. Like it's considerate on my behalf. Like I don't want to waste my time, but I don't want to waste yours either. You know what I mean? So
as a psychopath, bro. Like you slowly bring him down,
Oh, well.
A little finesse, brother. A little finesse.
No, I don't know. I can't.
Wouldn't it not save you any time? Because we're women, we're liars. So we'll just like lie.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, most women that I've dated, they'll come off as conservative, but it turns out they'll be covert feminists the whole time.
Yeah, because you told them up front. Then now we figure out how to lie.
That's a good point. Yep.
Those crazy radical political beliefs,
right? I have a question for Dirty Rotten People. So me, not guys, we know that we're gonna ease up. We have fundamental foundational views, but we're not gonna be living this like super red pill craziness in a relationship. I would think that it's better to overshow and kind of pull back as you get to know a woman than like undershow and then find out later your views.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's where most people go wrong is they themselves, they don't go on the first date. The representative does. I think put all that. I think put your worst foot forward. right out the gate. Yeah, no wasting any time, dude. Like, look, I'm not hard up enough anymore to where like I'm that desperate to get laid. Like, I don't care, dude. I'm not wasting my time, bro. Fuck it.
Okay.
Jesse, what do you think
About ghosting?
about what they were saying about showing too much on the first date? You coach guys, so.
And ghosting.
Yeah. It's actually funny. I teach guys not to show anything on the first date because the way women operate, it's like they will look at you, they perceive you however they want to perceive you. They're into you. They will justify the attraction to you, right? And so a lot of times on the first date or the second date, women are like, wait a second, I don't know anything about you, Jesse, right? Or for my clients, I don't know anything about these guys. Like, tell me more about you. But by that time, I already figured out everything about them, right? So it's kind of like a game of chess, really. And you're trying to say as little as possible to learn as much as possible when it comes to this type of stuff.
Pro always tells
Very
me, Doug and PA, why do you keep talking so much on dates? Why don't you just shut up and get laid?
Yeah,
How many stories have I told you, Pro? How many stories have I told
I know. I'm like, don't you? You're already on the date. Don't you want to get laid?
Okay, we did wrap people. What's the most other things that you tell a woman on the date? What's the one that's gotten most women to be like, "Whoa, wait a second"? If you don't mind sharing.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
by
well, I mean,
low?
it's especially if it's like a single mother, because my thing is like I'm not completely against dating single mothers, but if she is, first 5 minutes, first date, we got to address that elephant in the room. I'm gonna have to let her know that I will be inflicting as much physical pain on her child as I see fit, in order to undo all the damage that she probably did to it, because she probably fucked him up, or her.
Jesus Christ, man. It's a child. Yeah, I don't know about that. I think you're on your own on that one, brother.
I know. I love eating in peace.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think I've ever said anything outrageous on the first date.
I usually ask a woman what her most controversial political opinion is, and see what she says. And yeah, I've heard some pretty crazy stuff. I asked that on the first date. And then
First date, you're setting a vibe.
Oh yeah, they don't have shame. Men have shame. We're too scared to like tell people what we think for some reason. Women, they just bust it wide open.
Or you know what?
I just when you're having these like deep talks, it's not like about politics. I just think it's not that flirty. You know what I mean? It's not like what like.
Yeah, like what do you say exactly? Like when you go in and she's like, "Oh, I'm a single mother." Do you just go like, "I'm gonna beat the shit out of your child"? Like, what do you actually say? I am legitimately curious.
I mean, yeah. I mean, probably more like word for word. Like, when I said it the first time, that's pretty much like my line.
That's hilarious.
Without a doubt, you screwed up your kid. I mean, not without a doubt. More than likely. I've seen some single mothers that are surprising, but for the most part, their kids are brats, and I'm not putting up with that bullshit. So
When was
it's
the last time
either
you had a successful first date?
do what?
When was the last time you had a successful first?
Woo! Successful first date. To be honest with you, dude, most of my first dates, probably, yeah. I mean, if you consider it to be successful, I smashed. But I mean, like they weren't really traditional dates. There was more. They were more like we met and we fucking smashed, and when they just kind of stayed together.
So the
But
answer
yeah,
is
it's been a long time. It's been a long time.
I'm not surprised.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, I don't really date anymore. So
okay, that's
yeah. It's not on the first date or the second date or the third date, but usually before I get serious with a woman, especially in the area I live in right now, I ask them about their debt, especially student loan debt. In the area I live in, women are getting crushed by their debt. And so you have to have that conversation sooner rather than later, because in my opinion, a woman's debt is a reflection of their decision-making process or lack thereof. But you can tell a lot about a woman by how much debt they're in. Big time. So And then one last question to, I guess, big dating with Al kind of answered this earlier, but I'm just gonna go around the table. Do you believe that women change their political beliefs if you're that guy? Aaron, Spirit Chili, dating with Al, Jesse, if you want to reiterate, and then Dirty Rotten People, go ahead. But Aaron, go ahead.
Will they change their political beliefs if you're the guy?
If you're that guy, like
if you're that guy, yes.
That
80% of the time they will, yes, unless their true God is their politics, whatever form that might take. But yes, they will generally throw that away. Yes.
Okay. Spirit Chili, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, like I said at the beginning of the panel, women are very impressionable. So, like I said before to you, just let them reveal themselves, and you can honestly groom most women into being better people. That takes a lot of time and effort, though. It's like what your willingness is and how deep they are in that mindset too. So, if that's your boat that you want to sail, go ahead. But at the end of the day, you're probably going to have to groom somebody to be your partner, and they're going to have to groom themselves to be your partner as well. So it takes a little give and take.
Okay.
I know that my aunt, she's super, super duper liberal, and her husband's super conservative. It doesn't always work, but sometimes it does. It's just
how old are they though?
They're much older, so they're in
there.
Like,
you go. There.
Yeah.
There.
So yeah, younger, not so much. We're a lot more polarized in our youth nowadays because.
Good.
It's either left
Go
or
ahead.
right.
Yeah, I gave my stance on this. Of course they will. A woman will take on the belief system of the man that she's in love with. To take it a step further, I think to all the young men out here, it's our responsibility as Americans, as patriots, to date these women, right? Most women aren't super politically inclined. They're just default liberal, just because everything around them has the same message, right? Their Netflix account, their Instagram, blah, blah, blah. And they're default liberal. So it's our job to date them and then deprogram them from the state and reprogram them to more sane political beliefs.
So I just want to say, you say that most women aren't deeply political, but the problem is they get surface level politics from TikTok, though. How do you deal with that? Because they're not super political, but they have an opinion on so many things because of social media. So how do you deal with that?
You just, like anybody else, just have a frank conversation and logical debates. I think a great one to begin with is just the whole gender debate. Like if you want to talk about your future with a woman and say, oh, you want kids, right? I want kids too. That's great. Well, say if we have a little girl, so they relate more. Do we want to dress her up as a girly stuff, pink bows and stuff, and the cute little dresses? Or how are we going to dress them up? What toys are we going to buy them? And then they're going to think like, hopefully a light bulb goes off and a flitch is swift. Like, yeah, you know what? My little girl, I do want to dress her up in cute little outfits. So I think starting with an easy win, like the gender debate is a good tactic.
So if you could clarify your position, you're telling us that to save America, we have to sleep with these women.
Yes. Well,
okay, good. Just want to make sure. Okay, good.
Yeah.
We're here to save America. All right.
Yeah.
Just really quick.
Support them, wife them, have children with them. But it's more like flipping them, because I think we all saw, how they voted this last election, like overwhelmingly to the left, right? I don't know what exact number it was, but we have work to do as men.
If she doesn't register as a Republican right in front of me, it's all facade. Okay. So
I will say though, if you aim to deprogram a woman, you're gonna aim for failure. I would lean into the grooming and the cleaning aspect versus just trying to be abrasive and change your mind, because you're gonna get a combative woman. That was my only 2 cents for that. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, changing her TikTok algorithm is definitely probably the hardest thing. You could probably hire like an Indian for like $5 to just solely scroll and engage with conservative memes and reels, and that could probably work to change your feed. But outside of that, the real problem with women is that feminism now is so strong in these women groups. So you have like 4 chicks trying to figure it out all together, and it's obviously not working. And so you could maybe flip one, right? But if the other three are always going to overpower with their liberal ideas in those group chats, it just makes it really, really difficult. So yeah, I agree. It's going to be a team effort for everyone to flip these women around. You don't have to sleep with them. I don't think you have to sleep with them, but you definitely have to be attractive enough so they could start changing their ideology of what a quality man is.
I think I think that we kind of pick whoever the best looking like conservative or liberal commentator is. Like I feel like more young women are conservative now. Like I've noticed like there's more Trump supporters now amongst like young white women, and I think it's because Trump's more attractive than Biden. Like just like as a person, I think more like
charismatic for sure.
Yeah, more charismatic. Yeah. I love Pearl Davis, defender of men, how she destroyed Lila Rose, my Catholic sister. Yeah, look, I've been telling you, I grew up around conservative, Catholic, white women. I don't see much of a difference, so it's just my 2 cents.
People, you want to chime in with that?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're that guy, you can absolutely tell her what to believe in and what her new opinions are. But you got to do it right. I mean, the only way to go is to got to date down and dating market value. And she dates up. She's got to look up to you and see you as a leader. And so yeah, it's absolutely possible. You know, I've dated both, right? I've dated truly submissive women that thought I was the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I've dated women that straight up really wanted to be the man in the house. And I'm telling you, if you do it right, yeah, you can sway their political views, opinions, all that good stuff. Absolutely.
Cool. Wait, Pearl, any last before we close on that subject at all?
Yeah, I think women can be swayed. Like, I don't know. When I interviewed 1,000 women, the biggest difference I found in how nice they were was actually age over political beliefs. So, like, if they're over a certain age, like 25, they're kind of cooked and just combative and rude.
I would say even 23, bro. 23.
Yeah. Yeah. So, because like even if they were young and liberal, like if I would say a combative opinion, or like a difference, like it was a debate show. So like the younger women would giggle and be like, "Oh, tee-hee, I think this, tee-hee." But the old women would get angry, crash out, and get mad. And I'm like, I see why men like the younger women. Makes sense to me.
Okay. Well, we're going to close it out because we've hit the 2-hour mark. I want to thank everyone for coming. If you can go around and say where people can find you, I really appreciate that. And then we'll put your information in the description box of this live stream so people can find you. So we'll do Aaron's, Spirit Chili, Dating with Al, Jesse, and Dirty Rotten people ask. Tell people where they can find you, please.
You can find me at assholeconsulting.com. And then I got my YouTube channel, which is my flagship social media. You can just search Aaron Clarey on YouTube and you'll find me there.
Aaron Clarey, let's go. The man, the myth, the legend.
Aaron. I'm on Instagram, guys. Jesse_Steele. And YouTube as well. Just look up Jesse Steele as well, and I'll be there.
Okay. You're on mute, Spirit.
Oh. Sorry, I forgot. Yeah, I'm Spiritual. You can find me on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. That's a hobby of mine.
Okay.
You can find me at Dating with Al on TikTok and Instagram. I'm a live streamer on TikTok, giving dating advice to kind of a call-in show. I'll help anybody. I lean conservative, but if you're liberal, come on the show. I'll try to help you out. We love helping people. At Dating with Al.
Cool. Dirty Rotten People, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm Dirty Rotten People on all the platforms. I'm mostly active on TikTok, usually live streaming, but I'm also on YouTube, Instagram, and X. Just look up Dirty Rotten People, and you'll find your boy.
Cool. Thank you guys all for coming. Oh, Aaron, did you go?
No, I'm here.
No, I meant like, did you say your final thoughts?
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay. I can remember. Okay. Thank you guys all for coming. I appreciate it. If you guys could go follow their channels.
What?
Also, guys, Nuclear Caudillo is live now. If you guys want to go stream his chat, he's talking about how to win cuffing season.
I'm gonna put his. I'll put that link in the chat.
I think it'd be funny to get him to like 50 viewers or something. So
Any final thoughts on the stream, my friend?
When I was younger, I thought politics mattered a lot. I don't think it really matters that much. I think there's people that have different political opinions that have good hearts and are good people. I thought this especially when I did my interviews of women. Again, I just didn't think that politics mattered that much, nor do most women care that much. They just have these talking points they repeat from TikTok. So that's my 2 cents. But I don't date women, so take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I would say, guys, you have to, I have met women that don't really have an opinion on stuff, and then they meet you and they'll be like, oh, well, I like him, so I'll get into what he's into. But if a woman is a straight up like liberal feminist, dude, you guys, you don't have time to deal with that. I know that they're saying, oh, you have to, convert her, especially if you're young. You got to build yourself into something. You don't have time, guys. So,
That's you saying 3 hangouts, though. You got to find his system. That's not too bad. 3 hangouts.
So yeah, that's my opinion. But especially as you get older, it's just too much headache. You do get to an age, especially in your 40s, where sex isn't that important. If you get laid, cool, whatever. But it's about your time, and don't spend your time with some liberal feminist who's going to go back and forth. So that's just my.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't date women, so take it with a grain of salt. Okay, guys. Make sure you like the video on your way out. Go to Nuclear Caudillo's stream. Let's see how many views he's at now. Wait, hold up. Let me see. Now he's at 29. Guys, get to 30 or 40. That'd be cool. Anyways, like the video, the link to his channel's in the chat, and I'll see you next time.
Have a good one. See ya.